Hello everyone, I am Tacit. Hopefully all the settings are correct. For whatever reason, OBS wouldn't open for me in a normal Steam version, which is where I normally open it these days. But I do have a second version, slightly more dated, of OBS on my hard drive, and that one worked perfectly fine. So I'll need to figure out what the issue is with the other one, as that's my more up-to-date one that gets auto-updated, that apparently something that updated today or between the two streams and the breaking it, so we'll fix that later. But for now, hopefully all the settings and everything are correct right now. But anyways, aside from that, couple things. Preview video for 8.0 is not out yet. However, a lot of the preview things they've been doing in the last couple days or last week or so have been around 9 o'clock, which is about an hour from now. So if it does happen to stream, I will post in the pinned comment for anyone watching after the fact of the timestamp, so you can just go straight to it if you so choose. Now, of course, we're going to probably have to wait an hour, but that's perfectly fine because we got a Vault event weekend that we can go grind out in the meantime and clear out whatever dailies we need to go clear out. But anyways, aside from that, I feel like there's one other thing to mention. Oh yeah, the tides have finally turned. Our deeds, or our verses, have once again made verse 2 our lowest verse. I'm not sure why, but we've been doing so good on verse 3 this week, and I wasn't able to farm much, as you can see, so far today. Though I do need to go catch up tomorrow, finish out that grind. However, yeah, there it is. Our verse 2 is finally our lowest verse once again. That could change, of course. They are right on top of each other. But yeah, it was originally verse 4, which is oddly enough our highest now. Go figure. Then it was verse 2 for the longest time. Then it was verse 3 for quite a while. And once again, it has returned to verse 2, meaning the only verse I've not had as my lowest is verse 1, which is doing pretty good right now, but you never know. Could go all the way back around. Anyways, I guess we start getting some paloozas. I would clear some dailies. Didn't clear out the daily system yet. Probably tomorrow I'm going to do all dailies off stream just so we can go and get straight to like the underspire finishing and everything else that we need to go wrap up for the week. Just so we're not dilly-dallying and finishing out the Vault event. But we'll get those as we might need them. Actually, do I over buy torches? No, we should be fine. Worst comes to worst, better have slightly too many than not enough. What's up? Hello, Isabel! Hope everything's been going well. Nice. We have 69 skulls matched on the dot. Probably finish that out when we get to PvP. Almost nothing on adventure board today, but sure, we'll go grab it real quick, I guess. Go do all the knick-knack stuff real quick. But yeah, if any of you guys see the preview video on the forum, do let me know. We will be going over it tonight, if they do post it tonight. However, they did specifically say tomorrow, the other day, yesterday. However, they did it on Australia time. So everyone was mentioning last night that tomorrow probably meant today. But tomorrow could easily still mean tomorrow, as in Sunday. Since it's Australian time tomorrow. But no, we'll find out. So far, a lot of the times that they've been posting those preview thingies the last week or so, it's been about an hour from now. So if it's not up by an hour from now, I'm pretty sure it won't be out until like actual tomorrow. Like, we'll stop the stream, and then, like, 2 hours later, it'll be like, oh, there it is. In which case, I'll probably cover a separate video for it. But, otherwise, we'll just cover it on stream. No need to cover it twice. Also, hello, Genki. Hello, Isabel. I didn't say all those. Hello, Also, this chat that's slightly broken won't let me scroll up for some reason. But hello, Mark. Hello, Jets. Hello, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I can't scroll up on chat, but I can still see it on the second monitor. Hello, Mark. Hello, Isabel. Hello, yeah, hello Genki, hello Jets, hello everyone else, welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, I'm currently using a different version of OBS right now. Oh yeah, Genki, have you had this issue? Because you also stream. Where do you use OBS? And if so, do you use the Steam version of OBS? And if so, is it having a problem today? Because my Steam version of OBS will not open today. I'm currently using my desktop saved version of it from their website. From probably like a year-old version of it. Maybe not that old. That's definitely quite dated. Because for whatever reason, the most recent update that happened last night made it so it's not working for me for some reason. I didn't realize that till just before the stream started. But I'll fix it hopefully by tomorrow. Oh yeah, Journey's done, by the way. Guild kind of finished that. We could have helped them yesterday, but we opted not to. As a good guild leader, we opted not to assist. In all fairness, there is someone in our guild exactly tied with us, which is kind of funny. Coopster with that exact 7,389 tie. Anyways, but there's that event completed. Pretty much already was since yesterday. There's only like a few thousand left. Fortunately, we first tapped the trap there, which doesn't help us much. Hello, Cookie! Hello, Chad! Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys have been having wonderful luck on the Vault weekend. Ours have been interesting. A lot of verse 3s, very few verse 2s, and overall, Volkies have been really bad to us. Or our Paloozas, I should say. This is some of the worst luck we've had while opening Paloozas for a while. When is the 8-point patch release? It is releasing on Tuesday. However, it's not fully releasing until 2 Mondays from now. So even though the patch is on Tuesday, all the effects of the patch pretty much don't take place until the following Monday after that Tuesday. So we still have a good 2 weeks before the patch, technically. Well, not 2 weeks, like a week and a couple days. But the patch is technically in a couple days from now. It's just the effects of it are a little over a week from now until they are fully implemented, as they require a reset week. And that's the only problem with Tuesday patches, is since that's midweek, any patch that needs a reset week cannot apply till like 6 days later. Which is probably the most unfortunate thing with the current update system. But yeah, we should be getting quite a bit more info when that video drops. Hopefully we'll be able to go over it tonight. If not, we'll cover it in a video tomorrow. If they post in like the middle of tonight or something. But if they post in the next hour, hour and a half, we'll definitely cover it during the stream. Anyways, we did that. Is that basically everything other than PvP? I think so. Underspire will finish off stream tomorrow. And leave the last few good shiny loots for the stream. Journey's been done. Guild War doesn't exist. What else? What am I missing? And there's just PvP. Which, what do we have to do for this? Today is Saturday. Which means we have a double outer somewheres here. Which is probably elf and something else. No, not elf. Wait, where's the other one? Where's our double outer? Wait, is there not? Did I forget to do it yesterday? Today is Saturday, right? Did I forget to do the PvP alliance battle thingy? I'm so confused. Shouldn't there be a double outer for gold marks right now? Did I just not do it yesterday, so I can't do it? I think I might have forgotten. Wait, did they just post it right now? Ooh, okay, we need to go watch it then. Did they literally just post it now? That's funny. Alright, well, let's go watch it. Alright, let me go bring it up. Oh, that's nice. Alright, let's go do that. Yeah, apparently I forgot to do PvP yesterday or something. I'm not sure. We should have a double outer there for gold marks. Unless I'm going crazy. Today is Saturday, right? Yeah, we should have a double outer. Where did they post it? Wait, I don't see it. Oh, did they post it on their channel? I assume they would post it on the, oh, is this it? This was posted today. YouTube? Okay, I'll just check it on YouTube then, it looks like. Releasing tomorrow. Alright, let me just check it on YouTube then. Alright, let's go over to YouTube. Is there not a good way to replace that out? Fine, I'll do it here then. YouTube. Alright, what do we have here? Alright. Oh, there it is! Wow, how convenient. 8 views, 11 minutes ago.
Hello, adventurers.
Alright, let's go see this. Full screen? Alright, let's go watch this. Should we go super full screen? No, that should be fine. Actually, I'm not even sure how to make this super full screen at the moment with how I have it set up. Oh, let me go change one thing real quick, though. It'll bother me. This isn't perfectly in my corner. To you guys, it looks like I'm changing nothing. But it's bothering me so much that's not perfectly in my corner right now. Alright, there we go. I think I fixed it. Alright, anyways. Alright, let's go watch this. It is 5 minutes long. Looks like we'll have to put the timestamp pretty early. Looks like around the 8-something mark. Anyways, let's go watch the Immortals video. We'll start all the way from the top.
Hello, adventurers. It's Syrian here with a look at the final part.
Oh yeah, how's the audio, by the way? I might need to adjust it. Wait.
Ultimate epic conclusion to our series of PvP updates. Gems of War
Can you hear that?
Version 8.0 Immortals. Well, I say final, but as always, we're listening to feedback and making adjustments as we go. And we're having a blast with all these new toys. So never fear, there will be plenty more PvP stuff coming.
Audio good? Not good? For me, it sounds fine, but I can't tell on your guys' end at the moment. They were waiting for my stream. I know, right? It's one convenient thing about streaming around this time. They do tend to post stuff around this time, either patches and or other info. Too low? Okay, is it too low? Alright, let me make it max and see what happens.
Hello adventurers, it's Syrian here with a look at the final part, the culmination, the ultimate epic conclusion to our series of PvP updates.
Is that fine now? Maybe a little higher?
Version 8.0 Immortals. Well, I say final, but as always we're listening to feedback and making adjustments as we go. We're having a blast with all these new toys, so never fear, there will be plenty more PvP stuff coming.
Oh yeah, we are still going to be getting Guild War, by the way, in a separate patch. That's probably the biggest thing that hasn't happened to PvP yet. There is no return to Guild War yet. They are still working on it. When we're getting it, who knows how good or bad it will be, who knows. But that is something they are still working on.
This update is called Immortals, so let's start with Immortals. These are a new troop type, not a new rarity, but a new type of troop that works in...
Oh, so I just realized something. Let me go, get like the double audio going on right now. That might be hurting it too. Where's audio settings? Is there a mute button for both? There we go. I'll put the audio back on later. Is that double audio thing? Anyways.
Some different ways to your regular troops. There will be 10 Immortals when 8.0 releases, and a new featured Immortal every PvP season. More...
Okay, so... that should be 11, but he's not saying it as 11. It's weird that he keeps mentioning 10, but then 1 per season. But he doesn't say that there's 11. Because one thing we don't currently know is it going to be like 10, but one of the ones in the first season, or one of the 10? Or is it actually 11, but he keeps saying 10, and there'll be 10 initially, but then also an 11th through season 1, which will be happening at the exact same time. It still hasn't been clarified yet, because he keeps saying 10 rather than 11. Even though it seems logically that it would be 11. But it doesn't really matter either way. We're either starting with 10 or 11 of them. But it's hard to tell, and I'm pretty sure it's 11. But it's just kind of weird that it keeps mentioning as 10 and never as 11. Or as like 10 plus 1.
On seasons shortly though. An Immortal is stronger than a regular troop, even a mythic. And they are stronger still if used in their home region in PvP. You can use them outside of PvP too.
Alright, so that's confirming that too. Actually, that was something I was mentioning on, what's his name stream? Why do I always forget his name, like, every time I want to call on his name? Why do I always forget his name? I'm so bad when it comes to names. Like, so bad. But, brain, process. It's in there somewheres. Process. Cynical. But, on Cynical's stream, I was mentioning it when he was mentioning the other thing. Because he was mentioning they would only be used in PvP, but it seemed like they would be usable everywhere, which is what we've been saying. And it does confirm they are usable, indeed, everywhere. While they are stronger in their PvP region, and they're meant to be used, primarily in PvP, they are usable absolutely everywhere, but they are limited to only 1 per team, which is their main balance. They also only use 3 colors instead of 6, which is the other thing they're balanced around.
That's sweet.
Yeah, let's hear that again, just to reconfirm.
Shortly, though. An Immortal is stronger than a regular troop, even a mythic, and they are stronger still if used in their home region in PvP. You can use them outside of PvP too.
Alright, so that's everywhere.
Get that sweet region bonus. And you can only have 1 Immortal in your team at a time. That's important, so choose wisely. To unlock an Immortal, you need to collect 10 of their...
Alright, so much information just flashed. Wait, hold.
To unlock...
Okay, what's all this? Unlock Immortal Titanus. Unlocks Immortal Titanus to use in battles. Alright, I think that's the first 10 souls you need to actually get it as a drop. Because there was a mechanic that was mentioned on it that you need to get like 10 souls before you can get it as a drop. So all the way at the top there where it says Immortal Titanus unlocks Immortal Titanus for use in battles. I believe that's when you get your first 10 souls. Then create 3 bomb gems when it dies, so it becomes weaker when it dies. Then it gains immune to all status effects. Devour, Mana Drain, Transform. Okay, that's the really good immunity. I wonder if they all get that. That's actually really strong. That level 3 right there. Do they get a perk every single bonus? Wow. Then it gets to create 2 bomb gems when its turn begins, aka getting even weaker. Then it gains 2 attack, life, armor, and magic. It's not as much of a stacking as I thought it would. Though if it's also gaining stats every single level on top of that, I guess it's a lot. So I guess that could add up. But yeah, if they're going to be getting this many perks, and this is only 5 out of 30, that's going to be a lot of things. Though bomb gems are really bad, this guy's going to get weaker as he gets stronger.
Like an immortal, you need to collect 10 of their immortal souls.
Oh, okay, there's another thing. He to go from level 8... Oh, he already had some progress on it, though. It looked like he needed another 350 to go from 8 to 9. But yeah, that was my biggest concern with these, is how pay to win it would be to max these. Getting a copy of these doesn't seem like it'll be the issue. Pretty much everyone within their first couple months or year, like a new player, I feel like will have every Immortal within their first year of playing. The problem is maxing these, I feel like, could take literal years. Because it seems like it's going to be as paywalled and longevity walled as deed books are for kingdoms, as far as getting these to max level 30. But as far as getting them and getting a lot of their better perks, like we saw like one of the best perks was on the third one, or whatever that one invulnerable to everything trait was on. So be interesting to see how this pans out. Because if the later rewards aren't really like that broken, it could balance out. Like if you have basically a almost effectively max thing by like level 10 or 20, then that's not too bad. But you know, if you truly need it to be level 30 to get its full potential, it's going to be so bad. Like I'm pretty sure the track for 30 is going to be at least 3 years, especially based on what we're seeing right here. I don't know.
We'll give you an immortal at level 1.
Oh, a lot of things. Okay. We can infer based on the other level ups where he's at right now. So he's up to level 9. Bomb gems were what? Level 4. This was his level 5. So at level 6, you unlock the pet. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you get most of the unlocks pretty early on. So this doesn't look as pay to win as it initially seemed. Because you're getting its best trait perk thingy at its level 3. You're getting the pet at level 6. You're getting the weapon at level 7. So it looks like you might just keep getting stat boost at the higher range or something. Okay, so this isn't that bad then. If you get level 7 and basically have every unique, because what else did they mention? They mentioned pet, they mentioned weapon. Was there anything else? Because this looks like it's level 7 for all these. Because that's the level 8 one right there, the stat boost right there. I mean, that's not bad. He gets his best perk at level 3, the pet at 6, the weapon at 7, assuming this is the same scaling later on. But yeah, that's not bad at all, to be honest. And then like a level like 15 to 30 might just be like, hey, more stats, more stats, more stats. They do get quite a bit of a broken effect at 30 though, I believe, where their traits become even more overpowered. But beyond that, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that needed. Like it feels like they're going to be nearly maxed at level 10 basically, which is probably very obtainable. But you will be able to power creep even further if you have the currency and everything else, you know, to get them to level 15, 20, 30. But it seems like a level 10 will probably give you most of the benefits. Interesting. Anyways.
A level 1 immortal is about as powerful.
All right, we can see this right here. Yeah, that was the level 1, level 2. Oh, sorry, it was level 2 that it got his best perk. Oh, and level 5 was the pet. Okay, I looked at this wrong. Oh, no. There's another one above it. He hasn't scrolled all the way up. So yeah, this was the third one. That was the 6th, and the other one was the 7th. He hasn't scrolled all the way up. There's still one more above this thing.
Powerful as a level 20 mythic without its traits.
All right, this was mentioned in the other thing. Oh, other reward thingies. Oh, wait, oh, the weapon keeps getting stronger. Oh, though. Oh, yeah, true. You're also going to need more copies of the pet. So that's probably what the other things are. You get the first copy early on, but to get all the copies, you need to max it. Okay, I see. That's interesting that the weapons... I didn't think about that. But yeah, some of the upgrades are the weapon getting a tempering level. Because the tempering level and the pet level is actually increased not by normal currency, but by upgrading your troop mar. So even though you get a copy of them early on, all the tempering levels and all the pet levels don't come in until you get more of them. Okay, so I guess that's how it's balanced. Like, you get the first copy of your weapon and the first copy of the pet very early on. But to get them fully maxed, you have to have, you know, the Immortal nearly max. That shouldn't matter too much, because the bonus that you get from having more of the pet and more of the weapon shouldn't be that substantial. Like, it helps, but like a level 1 weapon compared to a level 10 weapon isn't going to make that big a difference a lot of times. It's normally the main effect. Similarly with pets, you have most of the benefit after you have one copy of the pet. So having all of them, while helpful, isn't going to be that big of a difference.
Once you have the Immortal, you need to keep feeding it immortal souls to level it up further.
Yeah, we can see that right here. Aside from the little bit of stat boost here and there, it's almost entirely just tempering levels for the pet and everything else. Alright, so this is fine. And these amount of stats are basically none, so nothing really too intrusive. So yeah, it doesn't seem like you have to level them that much to get a lot of the benefit. It seems like by level 7 you get most of the benefit from them. because you'll have their best extra perk, which seems to be immunity. If they all get immunity there, you get the pet, you get the weapon, and you're done. Like, you only need to get to, what, level 7, I think it was? And you're good to go. So that's not too bad. It's actually a lot more accessible than I thought it was. Like, yes, you will be slightly more powerful if you can get it all the way to 30 and all the other milestones along the way. But it seems like you get a bulk of the benefits by level 7 or so.
High as level 30. Traits are all unlocked by level 4 instead of using trait stones.
Oh yeah, all of its traits are unlocked by level 4. You just said it right there. Yeah, right there. You'll have all traits by level 4. And you'll have every perk by level 7. Which, honestly, that is 100 times more accessible than I thought it would be. So overall, not too bad. I'm pretty sure this will still be pretty paywalled and other things that they'll do with it. But level 7 to basically get every benefit is not bad at all. Though don't ever plan on getting level 30, because I'm pretty sure it'll be way too overpriced to do so ever. A mana cost reduction being that deep is a little broken, though. But at 30 mana cost, honestly, the difference between 30 and 28 mana cost is pretty minuscule. Generally, when you're dealing with numbers that high, like, the 2 mana cost is never going to matter. Like, it might occasionally matter, but it's never going to matter. It's like if they made Stellaryx cost, like, 40 mana. Like, that's not going to affect Stellaryx at all. But the difference when you're starting to deal with numbers that high really mean very little. Because you're mana accumulating so much that, like, 2 is barely going to matter at all. Even if you get it lower to, like, 4 or 6, I think that will still barely matter. But that is a little strong in theory. But in practice, most teams these days create so much mana that is pretty irrelevant.
They receive stat boosts, a special pet that powers them up further, a weapon to synergize with them, mana cost.
Alright, looks like the weapon gets maxed. Okay, the pet gets maxed at 26, and the weapon gets maxed at 27. Which is interesting, because I believe that's the same levels that you get the first copy of it, 6 and 7. And you get to max them at 26 and 27, so that's kind of easy to remember. Unless I'm misspeaking from earlier. But wasn't that the case? You got the pet at 6 and the weapon at 7. And now you get the pet maxed at 26 and the weapon maxed at 27. Now here are the concerning ones. What are the awakened traits? Upgrades existing traits to be more powerful versions. It also gets another 2 mana reduction, which means they go from 30 to 26 when fully maxed. Which, that is a bit more sizable, the difference between 30 and 26. But ultimately, mana accumulation is so broken these days that I don't believe that will make that big of an impact. But this is probably the most concerning thing with them, is how strong is the final trait. This is something we don't currently know. I might not know for a while unless, like, data mines show it. Because no one's going to have a level 30 anytime even remotely soon. But that's probably the most concerning thing with it. But everything else honestly seems perfectly fine. You only really need level 7 to get almost its full potential.
Cost reductions, and finally, they unlock awakened versions of their traits. Now, as you might have seen in the Immortal menu, each Immortal has its souls listed below it, instead of the number of copies you own. You can only own one of each Immortal, so it's a convenient place to show that.
Oh, okay, that's huge. You know what that means? You probably can't get duplicate Immortals, because you can only ever own one of each, which means getting them in drop tables should be a lot easier. We don't currently know how the drop table system is going to work, but it seems like you can use normal keys for it, like gem keys, seal keys, even glory keys, potentially even event keys if it's the corresponding event. Like, for example, if it's a Pan's Veil event, you'll be able to get the Immortal Capricorn and stuff like that. But, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see, because you know what that means then? Is, let's say it's a drop of, I don't know, 0.01% or whatever it is. Whatever percent they end up ultimately making it for, like, gem keys and stuff. That means as you get copies, you won't have to worry about getting duplicates. So that's not bad at all, to be honest. Interesting. Yeah, you get the souls from burning chests, as well as the PvP season pass, which you will likely be able to earn some from free from the season pass, though a decent amount of it will probably also be paywalled through however much the season pass is. We don't currently know, but given that's 11-week pass, I would assume it's about $10, give or take. Hopefully it's not more than that. I feel like that's the most they could charge for it without it seeming way too high. Though they'll probably have, like, a super offer, like a 25 one like the other season pass does. Oh, so sorry, I haven't been checking chat. What else was mentioned there? Will these troops appear in the Soul Forge next Mythic rotation? No. I don't believe these are Soul Forgeable. I believe they are key only based on what they've said so far. Which means your main keys will be Glory Key, Gem Key, Seal Keys, and potentially Event Keys. We don't know for sure if they'll be in Event Keys. But it seems like it's going to be completely key-based. They haven't really made any mention on if they will Soul Forge rotate or if they'll ever be obtainable through diamonds. Though that is a pretty interesting way to use diamonds, if so. However, I don't believe these are available for diamonds. I believe they're only available through keys via pure RNG. Only burning chests and not regular keys? Wait, is it only burning? I thought burning chests were only to get the souls. Because how I read it earlier is you have to get 10 burning souls for the corresponding troop. And then you can get them within chests. Unless they're only in burning chests. Because the way that I read it is you have to get 10 of their souls before you can get the troop. But then after you get the 10 souls, you can get them via chests. Unless it is only burning chests. Only burning chests? Okay, it is only burning chests. Okay. I misread that earlier then. Because it said you need like 10 souls before you get them in chests. But it didn't specify it was only burning chests when you can start getting them in chests.
You'll see those souls listed with Immortals when they appear in the regular troop menu too. So where do these Immortal souls come from? Well, you're going to get them by opening a burning chest. Let's take a look at those next. If you select the burning chest button over on the left of the map, you will find yourself in the burning chest menu. There's a good chance when you open a burning chest that you will receive some...
Alright. So we have the following. We will receive either 10, 20, or 50 Immortal Souls, the only drop that matters here. Or we will receive 20 gold marks or 50 silver marks. Or we will receive those bronze, silver, and gold icons, which those just give you some VP points. A pretty small amount. They're pretty trivial. The only one that really matters is receiving the Immortal Souls. Every other drop is pretty bad. But the only exception, I guess, maybe being 20 gold marks. But 20 gold marks relative to getting souls is basically nothing. We don't currently know how they're weighted. Hopefully, I'll click that question mark in the top left. If not, then that's like the first thing we're checking on Tuesday's patch is how these are weighted. Because I assume that question mark gives you the weightings on all of these. However, hopefully they don't make Immortal Souls too annoying to get, as they are the only drop here that matters at all. Every other drop is basically nothing.
Immortal Souls, 10, 20, or even 50 for a single Immortal. You might find some gold or silver marks instead. Or perhaps an icon. Bronze, silver, and gold icons can be exchanged for increasing amounts of extra VP, which count towards your various goals in the game.
Okay, so far he's done 4 polls, and 2 of them have been marks, or the burning, whatever they're called. The souls for the new Immortals.
Icons also have a unique interaction with seasons.
Okay, it looks like these are weighted fine. I'm not sure if they're exactly a 1 in 3 or what, but more than half his pools have been Immortal Souls, which is good.
That in a moment. To open these burning chests, you need 10 burning marks. These are going to be generated by things you do as part of the PvP season.
Oh, no, they're starting to go down. They're going below the 33% threshold.
Segues very nicely into talking about PvP seasons. PvP seasons are going to last 11 weeks, with no gap in between them. That will keep them running at the same pace as campaigns, which have 10 weeks on and 1 week off. When a new season starts, 2 things...
Okay, so from this season pass, I can see some free rewards here. And that is the burning mark icon, right? Looks like you're getting some free burning marks. Some extra of those little sigil thingies. A useless XP booster. Oh, it looks like you're getting some... I wonder if that has free next to it or not. Because that looks like it's copies of the new Season 1. So every single season, you're going to be getting a new Immortal. In this case, it looks like the Immortal of Empyrean. Oh yeah, let me go check. Immortal of Empyrean. Is that one of these 10? Because if not, that means we're getting 11. Which I'm pretty sure is the case, but let me just check real quick. Immortal of Empyrean. Immortal of Empyrean. Immortal of Empyrean. Okay, maybe we are only getting 10 then. But that could just be what they placed there. It might not actually be the case. But yeah, I'm still confused if we're getting 10 or 11. Because he said we're starting with 10 and then getting one new one per season, but we're starting in a brand new season. So it still hasn't been clarified. To my understanding, we're starting with 11, but he keeps saying 10. And this page right here is making me also think 10 because it's one of the ones that are already on that screen. So I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Them running at the same pace as campaigns, which have 10 weeks on and 1 week off. When a new
The Immortal Peasant, make it happen, please. I would want to use it so badly. Oh yeah, I wish I would have had a higher tier here. I really want to know how much VP you're going to need to finish out the entire season pass.
Season starts, 2 things will happen. First, your VP will reset to 0.
Okay, so they are going with the reset to 0 for VP. Personally, I prefer it this way. I think this is a bit of a controversial thing just because some people kind of wanted like some of their VP to carry over from time to time. But honestly, I prefer it this way, just a full reset of VP every single time, so that how much progress you have on the previous one doesn't really affect the next one. But yeah, honestly, I prefer it this way. But I feel like that might be slightly controversial to have it that way. But I don't know, I personally prefer a full reset of VP every time.
You'll need to earn it back during the new season to unlock Alliance ranks PvP shop.
Oh wait, only these are free, the ones that have these free under it? Okay, interesting. So only the one directly with free underneath it were.
And such.
So yeah, you're already getting some burning marks for free, it looks like.
Icons, those things from the burning chests, that you have not exchanged for VP, will be automatically exchanged for 10% of their VP value. This is how you get a season head start with your VP.
Okay, wait.
Exchange for VP will be automatically exchanged for 10%.
So he's talking about the icons. So it sounds like you can use 10% of your icon's value for your next VP season. So if you feel like you're really ahead and you know for sure that you're going to finish out a VP season, but you're not sure if you will the next time, you can save all your icons and 10% of their value goes to next season. I wish it was more than that, like 50%, because honestly, icons are pretty pointless. And only a 10% turnover rate is pretty low. But I hope they adjust that. I feel like it should be at least 50% of their value, because 10% is really, really, really low.
Exchange for VP.
All right, let me just go back.
Those things from the burning chests that you have not exchanged for VP will be automatically exchanged for 10% of their VP value.
Yeah, why only 10%? That seems so low. Yeah, any spear icons that you have, those ones that give like 750, 1,500, all that, they only take 10% of their value to next season. Wish I was a bit higher than that. That seems so low.
You get a season head start with your VP. So, with the season underway, you will see it consists of 3 parts. The featured Immortal, a new one each season, the season goals, and the season pass. Let's start with the season goals.
Alright, what do we have to do? Kill enemies in any PvP battle except training, free. Win any PvP battle except training, free as well. Okay, this is about how many PvP battles you're going to have to do. Is this to unlock a new tier of it? So it looks like you might have to do this 3 times. And it might be more every single time. So we can assume that's what? Win 500 PvP battles. How long is 500 PvP battles? Because let's assume you have to do this about 3 times and it scales about the same, though it might scale higher. Because it looks like you have to do this boom once to get 1 star, boom once again to get another star, and boom again to get another star. It might increase in how many you have to do. Well, let's just say it's about the same as 500. How long is that? 500 PvP battles. Because that would probably be enough to get all of these for the most part. 500 PvP. I want to think like time-wise, how long would that take? I feel like you can win about 2 a minute. So that's what, 120 an hour? It's not too bad. We don't know how this will scale though. Like it could be 140 here, then be like do 300, then be like do 1,000 or something. And we can see on this one's first star, you got to do win 84 monolith battles. We actually know exactly how long this will take to the T. Because 84 will be oh, that's actually kind of scary then. That seems pretty time restricted. If this is only going to unlock 1 of the 3 stars, this one's actually going to be hard. Because you're only getting, what, 6 per day? So 6 per day, that comes out to, what's 6 divided into 84? Why do we make this not go in evenly? That means it will take 13 days. It will take 13 days out of your 77 days to do the 1 star. Okay, that's not too bad. That does mean you do have to do quite a bit of PvP. Because if this is weighted evenly, that's 13 days per tier, which means it would take 39 days out of the 77 days. But that's assuming each one of these tiers is even. They could cost even more. Like this could go from 84 to 120 and then 120 to like 200 or whatever. But assuming they're about even, this would take about 39 days of PvP if you used your free monolith battles every single day on the monolith thingies. So 39 out of 77 days, but that assumes evenly weighted. They could be non-evenly weighted.
There are 9 goals, each with 3 levels. Some of these can be completed quickly. Some you will need to work towards all season. Each goal rewards either burning marks or immortal soul.
Okay, here we see one that's already been tiered up. Reach Diamond League. It looks like you actually have to go in. You have to go up in leagues, which means if you're not max league, you're gonna want to get max league. Oh yeah, some are even based on how loyal you are to your alliance, which is time gated. However, you can reach almost max loyalty within that 77-day period, even if you haven't already. And obviously, any veteran player would already have stacked loyalty. So these should be pretty free for the average already existing player. And for any new player, you'd be able to get it by your second PvP season. You'd be able to get these basically for free.
For the featured Immortal. Then we have our season pass. It has 90...
has 90 tiers, that we know. We don't really know the values on them, though, but we can see more of the loot.
Levels to work your way through. You do this simply by earning VP. It's one track which has free and premium rewards, and every third reward is free. There are a huge variety of...
Alright, that means there's 30 free rewards then. And 60 paid rewards. Which means 66% of the entire season pass is paid. Paywalled.
In this pass. Burning marks. Immortal souls for the featured Immortal. Talismans.
Out of all the loot they're showing here, it seems like the burning marks are the only particularly good ones. Like, there's a few knickknack stuff that's okay here and there, like elite keys and or epic keys and vault keys, and like these shiny keys here and there. But it seems like a good majority of the good loot seems to be burning marks.
Runes, boosters, shiny keys, and plenty more. Even a few orbs. You need 2,000 VP for each level in the pass.
Oh, there it is. Wait, didn't we guesstimate that exact number? Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, that means it's only 180,000. Actually, MK Jets just mentioned in chat. But yeah, if it's 2K per tier, that's only 180,000. Which means when we said 250,000 earlier, okay. So they actually did scale it for the average player. That is actually very free to complete. 2K per day. Or I mean, 2K per tier. Because that means you only have to do math. 180,000 divided by 11. You only have to do 16,364 VP per week. Let's just say 16,500. And keep in mind, you're getting like 1,000 for free, or 2,000 if you use the glitch slash feature that's in the game. But yeah, that means you only have to get 16,500 or so VP per week. So if you're currently doing that or more, you will get every single tier completed in the new season pass system. That's honestly not that bad at all. And of course, you can bulk them on a given week. You just do like 100,000 on one week and you're almost done already. And then you just do like the bare minimum, like 6,500 every week then, or something similar. But yeah, over the course of 11 weeks, you would have to get about 16,500 PvP points per week, which is not that bad at all, to be honest. They scaled this very, very low. Like, I was scared that it might be like as high as 1 million, but they made it as low as 180,000. That's not bad at all, to be honest.
That's 180,000 VP to complete, which is well achievable over the 11 weeks. So, Immortals.
Oh yeah, free players only need 176k. That's true, because you won't be able to get the final tier thingy, whatever that might be. It's probably like a power orb, the troll power orb. It better be like a major pet orb or something.
Chests and seasons. 8.0.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear what you just said.
Which is well achievable over the 11 weeks. So, Immortals. Burning chests and seasons. 8.0 is going to be a huge update. We can't wait to let this loose in the wild and see what you all think. So start shining your short sword, buffing your bardiche, and polishing your polearm. And we'll see you in Gems of War 8.0 Immortals.
Alright, overall, honestly, not too bad. A lot less pay to win than I thought it would be. Though maxing them is still probably going to be a nightmare and a half. That will take like multiple years. But it seems like you get most of your benefit from them by level 7. Everything from there is just like a few extra knickknack perks. But you get a good majority of their value by level 7, which is not that bad at all. I'm pretty sure getting all Immortals to level 7 is very doable and realistic in under a year. We don't know for sure based on all the scaling of the resources, but it definitely feels like it will take under a year to get all 11 Immortals. Well, technically more as more seasons happen, but like all 14, 15 Immortals by then. It should be pretty doable. So yeah, that's not bad at all. I was expecting it to be way more pay to win than that. Also, very easy to do PvP. It's only 180,000, or of course, 11 weeks, which comes out to, oh yeah, let me go add audio back on. Actually, let me get rid of this. Actually, we'll leave it up. Actually, let me get rid of, wait. I want to figure out how to, yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright, let's see. All right, what was I doing? Other thing. Oh yeah, audio back on. It's so quiet. Da, 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 da. All right, that should be fine. All right, anyways, where were we? So in other news, bam, that is 8.0 Immortals. It looks like you get pretty much all perks by level 7, or as far as the relevant ones, you have the weapon, you'll have the pet, you'll have all of its traits, you'll have a copy of the troop. Everything beyond there is just like a little bit of extra bonuses, just for a little bit of power creep on them, but a lot of it isn't that needed. Biggest concern is how strong is like the the enlightened traits or whatever they're called when they're fully maxed, or awakened traits, all the way when they're at 30. But I feel like most people won't ever get them to 30, so you not having them at 30 doesn't really matter if your opponent also doesn't have them at 30. So it honestly shouldn't be that big of a concern overall. Beyond that, seems like there'll be an okay way of getting burning marks. Does seem like it's a little paywalled though. 66% of all the rewards you get from the PvP Season Pass is locked behind it. However, it does look like there's a bunch of milestone goals that you can do through doing just various PvP things that you would normally be doing that do give you things like burning marks, more copies of whatever the seasonal troop is, and stuff like that. So you are able to earn it even without it. Yeah, divide 180,000 by 11,000 is 16,300 something, whatever it was. It's 16,363. So yeah, about 16,500 per week, which is very, very, very doable. And yeah, honestly, I was expecting it to almost be a million. I said it would be at minimum like 250,000 if they do it like generously, and if they didn't, it'd be like closer to a million. But yeah, they did only 180,000, and they're all weighted evenly too, so it's not like it keeps going up and up in cost. But yeah, 180,000, very, very doable. Like, I'm barely even touching PvP this week, and I think I'm already at like 10,000 right now. Let me go check. Yeah, we're basically at 10,000. I basically am not doing PvP this week, and we're already at 10,000 on a week that we're not doing PvP, though I really should. He's only at 26k. Oh gosh, first place is at 102k. That has to be leaderboard, right? Wow, that's not leaderboard these days? Wow, people are going crazy with PvP these days. Anyway, speaking of PvP, while we're here, let's go to Central Spire. Let's go get our little bit of battles and everything. I'm not going to battle with the monolith fights at the moment, though. We'll go clear this out real quick, get our 5 battles in. Apparently, did I not do this yesterday? Because I don't think I have my outer ring gold marks. Unless I glitched out today or something. I could have sworn I did yesterday, but I guess it was something we forgot to go do. Not that big a deal, though. I think what happened is I remembered to grab the gold marks yesterday, but I forgot to do the alliance fight. And because of that, I don't get the gold marks for today, because you have to do at least one alliance fight. Which I think is the problem that occurred. I remembered to take the gold marks, but I forgot to take the alliance fight. So hello, the Tried Outlook. Welcome, welcome. So how many PvP battles required per week? It depends how many you need for the PvP objective. It's hard to tell, because there's an actual objective that's win X numbers of PvP battles, and has 3 tiers. So we don't currently know how many that's going to take. We also don't know if they're going to be weighted evenly. That's something that actually wasn't really said. We do know that the PvP tiers are going to be even, in the sense that... Oh, good, my verse 2 just caught up. But we know that the PvP tiers will be even, and that they're 2,000 each for 180,000 total, which is about 16,350 per week. I mean, yeah, per week. But what we don't know is the other objectives, if they're going to scale or not. Because we saw one of them was like win 140 PvP battles or whatever it was. And we don't know if that's going to be 143 times, or if it's going to be like 140, then 200, then 300 or something. Requiring almost like 600 something by the end. That's something we don't really know until the patch actually happens. Because that also gives you things like marks, things like copies of the troop, and stuff like that. My biggest concern is 66% of the total loot that you get, not counting the mini objectives that you can do regardless, is paywalled, and we don't currently know how much that is. If I had to guess, $10 or less, hopefully less. Anything more than that's kind of ridiculous. Hopefully it doesn't have multiple tiers either, which I don't think it does, based on what we saw. But yeah, I'm hoping it's under 10. But time will tell. Also, wow, Dark Alliance is still obliterating. Look at that difference. Oh yeah, I'm bailing Dark Alliance coming next season, by the way. Don't try doing that next Tuesday, but the following Monday, You can change alliance as many times as you want in like that 1 week period. And I'll probably stay in Dark Alliance for several days that week, just to claim all the free gold marks from Dark Alliance. But by the end of 2 weeks from now is Monday. Like, during that week grace period, I will be bailing Dark Alliance for somewhere else. But I will initially be staying in Dark Alliance just to claim the free gold marks during the week. And then by the end of the week, when we're still allowed to switch alliances for free, I'm going to bail to somewhere else. Not sure where yet. Probably the Dwarf place, but I don't know, make that determination by the end of the week, see which ones are doing the worst. But anyways, since I didn't take the thingy yesterday, apparently I can't claim gold marks. Oh, hello, Tyrion! Wow, you got 33 shinies today. Nice. Are you going to go shiny hunting tomorrow as well? Alright, so it looks like we're done with pretty much everything in PvP here. I'm going to ignore the Valhawk for now. Even though we probably could go for a few, but oh well. Alright, I don't think we have anything else we need to go do. Perfect. Alright, so, now, let's go do Vault Event weekend. Because we're doing it inverse order. But it is Vault Event weekend time. We got the timer all good to go. Just make sure our team is set and everything. Because I believe that's the only thing left that we really have to do as far as important dailies are concerned. And apparently match a bunch of skulls, which, I don't know, do we just ignore that? I would have to do PvP and stuff. Not sure if I want to bother. I guess if we start doing more pet battles, but need a few more. How do I have so few skulls taken? Probably because I'm only using Dust Devil, as we are about to right now. But anyways. But yeah, honestly, I'm not as skeptical of next patch as I initially was. It looks like they honestly balanced it pretty fairly, I feel like. There are a few things that are pretty controversial with it, I would say. The biggest ones is there's a full VP reset, aside from 10% of your statues every single season. The fact that you only get 10% of your statues seems weird. It should be at least 50%, if not the full 100%. Like, it should be definitely more than 10%. 10% seems way too low. But honestly, I don't mind the full reset. I actually feel like it personally should be that way. But I do feel like the statues that you get should carry over more than 10%. Because that's just pitifully low. In all fairness, you're going to be hitting 180,000 pretty easily. So I guess, honestly, whatever value they are is almost irrelevant. They're basically just a dead currency. Every time you get them, they're equivalents of getting nothing. Because 180,000 should be pretty doable for the most part. Unless you just really hate PvP. But aside from that, other things, I'm slightly concerned with how strong a level 30 max is going to be relative to how long it'll take to max. I still feel like it'll take at least 3 years to do so. However, based on the scaling we saw, it does look like you gain pretty much all benefits by level 7. And I'm pretty sure you can get every single Immortal to level 7 within your first year of doing Immortals. Possibly even your first few months, depending on how it's scaled. Who knows, maybe even in your first season. But it looks like you'll be able to get most of them to a adequate point pretty quickly, which is nice. So new players will be able to get it onto them. Though I am concerned, I guess, in a different perspective now. That's basically going to be dozens of troops that are pretty easy to obtain that are somehow stronger than mythics. Because the second you get them, they're basically, like, the second you get them to level 4, they are basically as strong as a fully traded level 20 mythic. The second you get them to level 4. Which, what does that do to mythics then? If their abilities are, like, really good. Like, they're basically going to be like the Legends of Underspire in a sense. They're going to be like that, but for mythics. They're going to be these super ultra accessible mythics. Or above mythic troops in a sense. That you'll get their full power pretty quickly. Like, or not full power, but you know what I mean. Like a good majority of their power. Very, very quickly. And from what I could tell, they are going to be easier to obtain than mythics. Like than your average run-of-the-mill mythic. While also being stronger than them. So it's interesting to see how that pans out. I don't think I would ever put them in a low rarity team. They would have to be like really accessible for that to be the case. But that's almost what they are. Even though they're higher strength and everything than a mythic, they're effectively lower rarity than like any one specific mythic. Like if you were trying to get like X mythic specifically. Like actually getting a mythic will probably be more common. But getting like very specific mythic compared to getting like very specific immortal, due to how much less there are and how the drop table is probably going to work, it's probably going to be easier to get the immortals. I don't know. Time will tell. There's a lot of number nitty gritty that we don't really know until it actually happens. I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Doesn't seem too unbalanced as far as maxing them and everything. Or not, maybe not maxing them, but, you know, just overall general progression for the game. Seem like they'll be a lot of fun to use. Power creep's probably the most concerned with it. But, I don't know. We'll have to see what their abilities do. I don't think they're up on Terran's World yet. I don't think. Does anyone know? I haven't actually checked Terran's World recently. But I don't believe the new Immortals are on Terran's World yet. Their troop art is, but what they do and everything I don't believe is. Let's keep scrolling until we see something that looks like an Immortal. Oh, here they are. Oh! We do know what they're going to do already. Though, of course, all these are subject to change. Because even these colors are incorrect. Oh, no, those are just the Guardians. Never mind, those aren't the right ones. These technically are some of the troops that will come over. But I don't believe these are actually their traits, based on what we saw. Though they will, it does look like they will all have Invulnerable, oddly enough. But we already saw in the other ones that these two traits will be different. But it does look like they're all probably going to have Invulnerable, which actually will probably be the same. But these two are different on them. They're not going to be super absurdly tanky. They'll have two other things that aren't that there. But it does look like they'll all include Invulnerable, which is actually kind of interesting. This is going to be basically introducing an Invulnerable meta to the game. But yeah, all these abilities are the ones for the other ones. The versions of these are not going to come in one-to-one into the game. So everything that says doesn't actually help us for what we're trying to figure out right now. Alright, so it looks like we just don't have... Oh, here we go. Immortals. Alright, so we actually do know something about them. Interesting. Alright, let's start reading these then. So this was that one really cool dragon-looking one. It's a dragon Immortal. Okay, so they do have the typing of Immortal, so if they ever want to add Immortal counters to the game, they can. They definitely won't be initially, but similar to how they've considered it for Hero and then never did, they might. Okay, so we can actually go see what they do. Cool. All right, let's start reading some of these then. Might as well. So this thing, the cool-looking dragon one, which is probably my favorite-looking one. It is a blue, green, yellow. It deals magic times 1.3 plus 2 true damage to an enemy. And half that damage to all enemies below them. Interesting, so you're mostly hitting first slot. I assume that's still true damage to half enemies below them. And if used in Bay of Stars, which is that PvP location, the damage is doubled. All right, interesting. It has immune to everything, as I believe all of them have. Or pretty much everything. It gains 1 magic per blue ally, aka nothing. And its unique perk is 50% chance to create a blue dragon gem when my turn begins. Okay, I see. So it's useless. Unfortunate. The troop art, or the good troop art always become the most useless troops. Unfortunate. Anyways, Immortal Capricorn. Deal magic plus 2 true light splash damage, which is 25% to adjacents, to 4 enemies. Why are you so much stronger? If used in Mirage Expense, deal double. Okay, so it seems I've seen a theme here. They're all going to have double damage when used in their PvP location. Explode 5 gems of a chosen color. Why are you so much better? He has nothing for his first trait. Invulnerable, as I assume all of them do for their second trait. And his unique thing is he does nothing. 50% chance to convert a red gem to a red mana potion. Well, honestly, that could be okay in some situations. All right, why do they all have such a bad final trait, though? That's kind of scary. Why are all their final traits so bad? All right, next one. Immortal Empyrean. Which if that season pass thing is anything to go by, though it could change. This could be the one in the first season pass of season 1. Though that could have just been a placeholder. But he was the one that showed up there during the video. But anyways, he deals magic times 1.1 plus 2 true damage, splash damage, which is 50% to adjacents, to 3 random enemies. So far, all of them have been true damage. Boosted by burning gems at a 3 times boost ratio, so 3 more damage per. And since this splash, 1.5 splash to both the adjacents as well. If used in Central Spire, it deals double. Okay, so this is a Central Spire one. Oh, he's nothing special. This is probably going to be pointless. I was mentioning this earlier, but the Central Spire one's going to be pretty bad. Because you can already use anything in Central Spire, so this doesn't really help it. Keep in mind, one thing that wasn't mentioned in the video that we just went over is you are always allowed to use the Immortal in the category. So, for example, this one is for, let's say this dragon over here, right here. This dragon was for the area of Bay of Stars. Anytime there is a Bay of Stars event, let's say the Bay of Stars event is currently an elf restriction. This is a dragon Immortal, which is not an elf. However, you are allowed to always use this in Bay of Stars, regardless of what the restriction is. So this makes all of them pretty viable, which makes this one really, really, really bad. Because this one's from Central Spire, and obviously Central Spire, you're allowed to use everything. So this guy's benefit of being able to use regardless of restriction means nothing, because you're already allowed to use everything here. Whereas a lot of these other ones for inner ring, outer ring, stuff like that are going to be really, really good, because you will always be able to use them to bypass whatever the restriction is. So regardless of what the restriction is, even if the troop itself does not fall into restriction, which it very rarely would, you're still allowed to use it in that area. So that means this guy right here will be the absolute weakest out of any of these, as you do not gain that benefit at all in Central Spire, as you're already allowed to use anything. But he creates 2 Burning Gem when my turn begins, which, not awful, not the greatest. Isn't there already a trip that does pretty similar to this? I think it's 2 Burning Gems per extra turn. This one does it per turn, rather than extra turn. But there's already a mythic that does it per extra turn, but this is just per turn. That's not awful. It's not the greatest. Next we have Immortal Glacia. Deal magic plus 2 true... Why do they all do true damage? Deal magic plus 2 true damage to 5 random enemies. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think anything in the game hits exactly 5. Maybe Leshy, or whatever the thing is called. Maybe there is. But interesting number, because it's not particularly common. Boosted by frozen enemies that are 4 times boost ratio, which does quite a bit extra damage. 20 per frozen enemy. If used in Winter's Reach, double damage. And its unique trait is create a freeze gem when my turn begins, which does synergize a little bit with his ability, but overall not that great either. Why do all these have such bad final traits? Deal magic, I guess just to make up for the fact that they have invulnerable, because all of them have a completely pointless first trait. They have an absurdly good second trait, obviously. And then all their final traits have been pretty lackluster, but maybe one of these will have something absurd. I have to keep reading down. Yeah, this one deals magic plus 2 true damage. Keep in mind, all these are subject to change, but they are likely to be pretty similar to this when they release. Also interesting that they say 28 mana here, because the ones that were showing in the video were 30, but then 28, then 26. So it seems like they have a base of 30, but then as you upgrade them, they go down. So Terran's Rourke probably just doesn't have that updated compared to where the patch currently is. But it does seem like, based on what we currently know, they will be 30 mana cost troops. That'll be 28 when you get the 1 upgrade, and then 26 when you get the 2nd upgrade, all the way at like a billion level. I think it was like level 29 or something. Anyways. So what do? Deal magic plus 2 true damage to all enemies. Okay, interesting. The first full AoE one. If used in that place, it'll deal double damage. Give magic plus 2 life to all other allies, boosted by angel gems. Interesting. That's not awful. Lack of follow-ups concerning, though. And it creates 200 gems per turn. Which actually, this guy stacks so many angel gems onto the board. Keep in mind, you can only use ever one of these onto your team. And when I say one, I mean like one. You, for one, you can only have 1 copy of each. But you can't use multiple Immortals on your team. You're restricted to only 1 singular Immortal. This one explodes 5 gems, dispels all enemies. Okay, this is looking good so far. And deal 3 to... Okay, then it just got absurdly worse. Why? You were doing so good in the first 2 lines, and then you ruined it. Explode 5 gems, great. Dispel all enemies, great. Deal 3 damage. Horrible. Obviously, it's 3, 2, magic times 2.25 plus 2. True damage. But it still can hit 3. Like, you know, like, yeah, you're not going to, but you know you're going to. You're going to hit like a 3 to a 9 or something. Anyways. Or as Lester would say, 6 to 9. Anyways. True damage to them. And if used in Summer Isle, will deal double damage. Okay, this guy started really well, but it does like 0 damage. Unless you get really lucky. He creates a barrier gem per turn, which also not that great, and can give the enemy free barriers. Though he does have free dispel, so I guess that won't matter too much. But still could matter somewhat. Alright, Bone Spires. This was the guy who, the actual trip that this is based on is the strongest of the actual things. So let's see if his ability is similar. Because this guy, like the normal version of him, like the non-player owned version of this guy, is by far the strongest out of all of them. So let's see if this guy is similar. He converts all gems of a chosen color to Doom Skulls. Oh, he's Keeper of Souls for Doom Skulls. That's already great. Even if the ability ended there, that's already solid. A little pricey for 26 mana or up to 30 mana. But this is basically Keeper of Souls for Doom Skulls. Okay, that's really good still. That's not as good as what the actual troop does. Like the one that's not player owned. But that is still really, really solid. Interesting. And let's read the rest. Deal magic plus 2 true damage to all. And why are you so strong? Wait. That's basically just stronger. What's his name? That is literally just stronger. If I could ever get out of this menu. Enraged Carandera. He's literally just stronger Enraged Carandera. Wait. If I go over here. Enraged Carandera. It's even lower mana cost too. I forgot. Enraged Carandera is 35. He will be 30 and as low as 26. But yeah, he does physical damage to all enemies instead of true damage. And he only converts something into Doom Skulls. I guess he also has the Doom Storm. But yeah, he's basically cheaper in Enraged Carandera. Because not only is he 30 mana cost at the absolute most expensive, like if you just get him with no other buffs. So not only is he 30 mana cost at most, 26 at lowest, But he also does true damage instead of physical damage, and you get to choose where the Doom Skulls go. So you will guarantee get alignment. Well, you know, obviously you won't cast it if you don't have alignment. So guarantee extra turn, as long as you're not frozen on first slot. There's true damage instead of physical. And probably has better traits. Let's see, what's his final thing? So he's immune to everything. And instead of having a curse per turn, he has a curse stun. Wow, he is stronger! No way! Why did they make this guy so strong? He's literally viable in Rage Carandera. He has invulnerable, just like in Rage Carandera. He has better damage because he's doing true damage instead of physical. He has lower mana cost, having 30 instead of 35, as low as 26. You get to choose where their Doom Skulls go rather than converting away yellow or whatever he does. He does double in a certain location if you want even more damage. And he has Curse Stun instead of only having Curse. While you do need multiple extra turns to trigger it, rather than it just triggering on its own, that's not really that big of a deal to have both on the same troop. Yeah, this thing is absurdly good. It is weaker still, I feel like, than the one that is non-player owned. But this is by far the strongest one. It's not even close. This thing does everything. It has Curse, Stun, full AoE true damage, and it's basically Keeper of Souls, but for Doom Skulls. So it has extra turn potential, and of course they explode. So you're getting mana accumulation from that as well as board clear. This one at max level is actually going to be insane at 26 mana cost. Because it'll probably be able to sustain. This is probably one of the few where mana cost actually will matter. Him having lower mana cost. Because at 26 mana cost, you'll be able to sustain him a lot better compared to 30 mana cost. But yeah, this one is by far the strongest. It's not even close. Okay, let's keep reading down. But yeah, this one is by far the MVP. It's going to be the main Immortal that every team will be built around, most likely. Unless they're going to surprise us with something down here. But this is just so staggeringly more broken than everything else mentioned here. By such a margin. Like, even if this was just his ability, he would already be really good. He's just this. Just that right there is Keeper of Souls, but Doom Skulls. That alone is already enough to make him good. But then he gets like a full free true damage on top of that. He has Curse Stun on top of that. Because keep in mind, Keeper of Souls basically has a non-existent final trait. So to have Curse Stun instead is insane. And compared to Rage Carandera, he's better in every possible way. Vulnerable to Invulnerable, has true damage instead. Has Doom Skulls, will have more stats. You get to control where the Doom Skulls go. Has a better final trait. Everything about it is just better in Rage Carandera or better Keeper of Souls combined. Anyways, let's keep going. Next we have the Immortal Sagittarian. This deals... Why? Why do you keep doing this? It deals 0 damage every single time as true damage to 3 random enemies. Boosted by bleeding enemies. Hey, bleed boost ratio. Too bad you do 0 damage. If used in broken lands, deal triple damage. Oh, interesting. Most of these have been saying double. This guy does triple in that location. But outside of broken lands, I don't really foresee this getting used. He has Curse Bleed on his final trait. Not awful, but there's better cursors out there. Most notably, this guy right above him. But, yeah, his ability is just underwhelming, unfortunately. Oh, he does have Agile, though, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think that's enough to save him. Anyways, next we have the Immortal Terra. This deals magic plus 2 heavy splash damage, which of course is 75% to adjacents, to 3 random enemies. Okay, interesting. Yeah, isn't there another mythic that does this, but physical? I'm pretty sure. Like 3 random enemies, heavy damage, but physical. Anyways, if used in... I can't remember what trip that is off the top of my head. I feel like that's the thing, though. If used in South Wild... Oh, no, I think it's normal splash damage. It's that one Aquarius thingy, whatever that thing is. That one, like, blue dragon-looking thing. Anyways, if used in Southern Wind, we'll do double damage. Destroy a row and a column. Do you get to choose the row and column? It sounds like you get to choose. It doesn't say random. That's okay. It's definitely a decent amount of damage. Him creating a stun gem when his turn begins kind of bad, though. But, this is pretty tanky. I just noticed 50% score reduction. So I can see this guy having a use case. Very situational, but 50% score reduction into, his ability. Not bad at all. I just feel like it's still kind of situational. Okay, this is the one that we actually saw during the preview video. Where even getting bomb gems basically makes him weaker. So, that's wonderful. This gets to deal magic times 4 plus 8 true scatter damage. This guy's mech, right? Yeah, he is mech. So, let's see if this is enough to replace out Tina 9000. Because this is his main competition. Is he better than Tina 9000? And if the answer is no, then that's sad. He deals magic times 4 plus 8 true scatter damage. Alright, that's already bad. If used in a Danya, deal double damage, destroy 3 random columns. It does have extra turn potential, unlike Tina 9000, but its damage is basically 0 compared to Tina 9000. Actually, I say that. It's magic times 4. That basically means it has 4 times its magic boost ratio. That's actually kind of big. Because that basically means it's doing full AoE damage, but in scatter. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the biggest issue here is he doesn't have a boost ratio. A boost ratio would be kind of interesting on this. But yeah, never mind. That's actually not that bad. Because with times 4 there, I didn't realize this. That's basically a 4 magic ratio then. Instead of like a 2 or 3, which means it has a higher magic ratio than Stellarex. However, Stellarex hits all enemies, so it's still gaining more benefit from it. However, when hitting a single target, this is actually doing more ratio to its magic than Stellarex when there's only 1 target remaining. Though, of course, in a lot of situations, there will not be exactly 1 target remaining. But keep in mind, synergy-wise with Tina 9000, when you go get like a double kill or something off a Tina 9000 cast, this will be a really good cleanup troop. So I think we finally have a replacement for double Tina 9000. When you run like Mech Hero class Bork into double Tina 9000 for Mech, you finally have your replacement for the second Tina 9000. This is viable enough to replace it. Because it has extra turn potential unlike Tina 9000. And it scales really well once enemies die. Which synergizes really well with Tina 9000. The only big issue is, aside from invulnerable, it has no traits. It creates 3 bomb gems when it dies, which helps the enemy. And it creates 2 bomb gems when its turn begins, which helps no one. But its ability is enough to make it better than double Tina 9000 in a pure mech team. So it will get used. Plus, of course, all these will at least be viable in their given location. Like, this will be viable in Adania, this will be viable in South Wilds, so on and so forth. But anyways, so the final one here is this one's still to be determined. Actually, it's not even Immortal. Oh, Guardians? Oh, we're getting new Guardians. Anyways. But Immortal, Titanius, this is the final one. Dio magic times 4 plus 8 true scatter. Wait, never mind. I already read that one. This one. Immortal of Virago. Dio magic times 4 plus 8 true scatter damage. Boosted by Fairy Fire gems. Oh, is this going to be a better way to Fairy Fire going forward? If used in Summer Isle, deal double damage. Alright, so this has a very similar ability to the other one. But it doesn't destroy 3 columns. So this is literally weaker than the mech. Because the boost ratio does almost nothing. It does get to create a Fairy Fire gem when its turn begins, which is better than doing nothing per turn. Yeah, this is basically just weaker version of the mech one. Plus the mech has a better overall team synergy that actually has true damage. Whereas a lot of things that have Fairy Fire synergy, or, you know, synergy with like a Fae, aren't necessarily true damage. So they both have a very similar ability, but the mech one is definitely way better overall, which is so sad because it has 2 awful traits. But its ability is better and its synergy is better. Also, this does not replace any Fairy Fire meta. How long is Queen Titania going to be the best Fairy Fire? She was the first and still best Fairy Fire option in the game, pretty much. Just because of her ability into trait combination. But yeah, as it stands right now, Immortal Ossifer is by far the strongest. It's not even close. Like, this guy is almost stronger than all the other ones combined. He's basically like Zolgoth level. He's basically Enraged Karandera if they made Enraged Karandera good. As he's a mix between Enraged Karandera and Keeper of Souls. He has the exact control ability of Keeper of Souls, except it's Doom Skulls instead of Skulls. On top of that, he gets a free true damage AoE, which he doesn't even need. He would not have that and would still be viable. He gets double damage in a given location, which you can always use for that location. He is invulnerable, just like Enraged Karandera. And unlike Enraged Karandera, which has a small chance to curse all enemies per turn, this can curse stun the entire enemy team, meaning you don't even have to do like Enraged Karandera into Obsidious. You simply just do 1 troop and it has both your curse and stun. You just have to get a few extra turns rolling and you're good to go. But yeah, this is by far the most broken one. It's not even close. I am curious to see what kind of team synergy we're going to get. Like the mech one we saw will have some pretty good team synergy and stuff like that. But definitively, if you were just to use one and just plop it onto a team, the Immortal Ossifier is by far the strongest of any of these by a very large margin. As mana accumulation, as board clear, it has controlled skull spam. It has, which is one of only 2 troops in the game that basically have that. It's Keeper of Souls and him. And Keeper of Souls is a bit dated. Keeper of Souls actually came originally OG troop when the game first launched. So this is the first upgrade we've had to Keeper of Souls in basically a decade. And gosh, is it an upgrade. But yeah, this thing is really, really good. It's by far going to be the main one that you're going to be using in most situations. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this guy pans out. And he does everything too. He has immune to most things. He gets rid of like all traits from opposing teams. Really controlled skulls while doing mana accumulation. Heavy true damage burst. Actually, I say heavy. It's a pretty average amount of true damage. But he's basically getting this for free. Even if his ability completely had none of these words, he would still be used. Because all he needs are these words, and he's good to go. He's basically just free damage on what he's already doing. That's what more troops need. They need, like, an effect that's, like, not awful, but then any amount of follow-up at all. Like, this is how almost every troop in the entire game should be. A board control effect that isn't abysmal, combined to follow-up. It's the reason why Peasant isn't viable, because Peasant does this good. It has, like, a good board control unique thing, but then has no follow-up. But this is how basically every troop in the game should be, pretty much. Some amount of board control of varying degrees, and then any amount of follow-up that isn't abysmal. And if they just made every troop like that, like nearly every troop in the game would be viable occasionally. Yeah, he's really good. Anyways, alright, that's the whole spiel on that. We went for quite a while. Gosh, we're already an hour in. A whole hour of the stream has been just talking about the patch. I'll try to put some timestamps in there afterwards so people can navigate it a bit easier. Anyways, with that being said, I guess we go crack open some some Vault Grind. I'm not sure how many I'll do because we've already been talking for so long now, gosh. I might only run like a few tonight, we'll see. Honestly, I might just do 2 and just run the rest tomorrow night. That means we have to run like 6 tomorrow night then if we do. That's not too big a deal. Anyways, let's start running at least a couple. Oh yeah, let's go hand out a code. I haven't handed out a single code yet. We'll hand out 2 codes tonight. One right now and one in a little bit. But yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to next patch. I feel like a lot of troops are going to be fun. They're going to be pretty accessible for the most part. Getting the max is going to be a nightmare and a half and probably one of the most paid-to-win things ever. But it doesn't seem like you need to have them maxed for it to really be that important. But, I don't know. Time will tell. But overall, I am looking forward to the patch. Seems a lot more balanced than I initially anticipated. Though that one troop does seem really strong. Like, that one actually seems like the true above mythic rarity troop. The other one just seem like they're mythics. Like, every other one just seems like a normal mythic. But that last one we were showing is, like, that one actually feels like an Immortal troop. Like, that's basically Stellarix level of how much it's pretty much going to get used. Except on the skull spam aspect rather than a cast aspect. But anyways. What am I doing? Oh yeah, Paloozas. Let's start that. Let me make sure I have the team set. Yeah, I'll run a few Paloozas tonight. Not sure how many. Because we've been talking for an hour straight on just the patch. Yeah, that patch is coming on Tuesday, though technically not until 2 Mondays from now. Even though we are technically getting it next week's Tuesday, all the effects of the patch don't take place until the Monday after next week's Tuesday. So 2 Mondays from now. So even though we're getting it in a few days, we're not technically getting it until about 9 days from now. So do be wary of that. But we'll still go over it more on Tuesday night when the patch hits. Not sure there'll be too much to check, but there might be some actual drop rates and stuff we'll be able to see. Like, for example, currently we don't know the exact drop rates of burning keys, which we should be able to see on the day of the patch. Plus, all the Immortal troops that we just went over now will probably be updated on Terran's World to have more accurate information if they do change it. Because Terran's World still says they're 28 mana, even though the video showed them as 30, then 28, then 26. So there is some inaccuracy there that will probably be updated by the time the patch actually hits, once they have the updated troops and everything. How much will PvP grinding slow down from these troops? Not at all. They're immune to most stats effects, but that doesn't affect things like Stellarix and such. What was originally going to slow them down is if they had the really high score reduction and everything. However, the worst one is only a 50% score reduction, which is tanky, but not that bad. Plus, you could still spellcast by it. Not a single one of them has spell reduction, and most of them have no score reduction. There was only 2 with score reduction. One had 50% score reduction, and one had 20% dodge. 0 of them had magic reduction, though they will probably add one at some point where they'll have like 25% spell reduction or something. But currently at launch, none of them will have spell reduction at all. So Stellarix gets literally no speed slowdown at all if you're using a Stellarix quick kill team. There is no reduction in speed at all. If anything, PvP should get quicker, especially if you go into an alliance that has 40% more stats. And Bale Dark Alliance if you're already in it. And you also have the Immortals to use. And you'll gain a lot more of a benefit from using Immortals than the enemy team will. Though they will hit kind of hard, so that could be a little bit annoying. But so does Stellarix, so does everything these days, if you get enough of a loop on it. But anyways, let's start doing some Paloozas. I haven't done a single one yet. And we got a couple we need to go to. You know what, let's go throw 3 of these, I think. 3 of these boosters, good to go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's go run 3 Paloozas tonight, I think will be our goal. And then whatever we still have to do tomorrow, we'll go do tomorrow. Which means tomorrow's going to be a pretty long stream then. But unlike the last 2 nights, we shouldn't have to go over a billion things related to the patch. Because last night we went over like a small little preview thing. Today we spent an entire hour going over it. But tomorrow, all we'll go over is the weekly preview thingy. It shouldn't take nearly as long as the other 2 days. So tomorrow will be a lot more focused on perusing it up. Yeah, no problem for the code. We'll have another one in a little bit. But yeah, PvP will not be slowed down at all. Originally, the biggest concern with it is like, oh, what if they all have like 75% reduction for both of them? But no, not a single one is getting that. Not a single one is spell reduction, and the worst skull reductions are one with 50% and one with 20% skull dodge, which will both only be used in one single location. And even if they are used, if you're spell casting, it doesn't even matter. Stellarix or other spellcasters just completely override them. The only thing I guess it kind of nerfs if you're running like a Zolgoth Iron Gut team. But I don't feel like most people are running Zolgoth and or Iron Gut for most PvP restrictions. Or, you know, like the insta-kill route. You still run insta-kill in this game, but you mostly only run it at like really high-level delves. They're not really used for much else. Like high-level delves and Explore 12 are the last 2 locations you really use insta-kill in the game at the moment. You don't really use them in PvP that much. And if you are still using them in PvP, you kind of have to stop after next patch. As there are going to be a ton of things that have immune to insta-kill. They also won't be able to curse stun, or you won't be able to curse devour, I mean. So that will be a little bit of a nerf to insta-kill troops in PvP, but I feel like most people aren't running insta-kill in PvP these days. That used to be a thing, but isn't really a thing anymore, and is super not going to be a thing as of next patch. As there'll basically be at least a guarantee 1 troop on every team that will be immune to everything. Yes, patch is on next Tuesday, but it doesn't fully take place until the Monday after next Tuesday. Because it needs a full event reset, which doesn't happen until the following Monday. But yes, the patch is technically next Tuesday. So next week's Tuesday, we will be going over the rates on burning chests and all the other tidbits of information that we don't currently know. Like what are the rates on the burning chests? What are the rates on the actual numbers? Like when you get 10, 20, or 50 on them, if it even shows the breakdown for it. And a few other things like that. But there isn't too much we can actually do the day of the patch. Because the season, the PvP season doesn't actually restart until the following Monday. So there's very little we can actually do on Tuesday. The main thing we'll do on Tuesday is check the burning chest rates. And check the updated Terran's world to see what the troops are. Because what we just went over could be tweaked a little bit by the time the live version hits. So even though we just went over all the Immortal troops, they are all subject to change to be different by the time the patch is out. Though they likely aren't going to be that much different. But they could still be slightly different. Oh yeah, we will be handing out the pet code on Tuesday as well. I can't remember what pet it is. I believe it's one of the International Dog Day pets. I don't remember which one. But yeah, we'll be handing that out on Tuesday. Probably after we do all the patch reading and everything. Because they're going to be posting a new patch notes. I'll probably just skim it though, because we've kind of already read through the whole patch notes, but try to skim it for if there's any new valid information. Is at this point, we've kind of had 3 streams already where we went over 8.0. We had the stream where they dropped the patch notes. We had the stream where they dropped a bunch of text related to 8.0. And then today we had the whole video. And then on Tuesday we'll have even more info because they'll be adding another patch notes. They'll have some more information than the previous patch notes. And even if they don't, well, they normally do. But even if they don't do that, obviously we'll have a bunch of stuff to go over in-game related to 8.0. There's not much we could do with it immediately. Which I'm kind of sad whenever there's a patch like that. Because they like hype out the patch and it's, then the day comes and it's like, wait, there's nothing we can do. Which is what this Tuesday is going to be. Because pretty much everything requires a weekly reset before it starts. But I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. It's a lot less egregious than I initially thought it would be. The only super big concern, I guess, at this point is how pay to win it'll be to max them. However, it seems like you get almost all their benefit by level 7 out of 30. Which, based on how many souls we saw it would take, looks like it will take, like, literally only a few months to get all of them to that point, pretty much. Like, it seems pretty easy. I don't know, we'll see more as it gets closer. I'm not sure if I'm going to be covering a separate video on the patch notes that just, or a video that just dropped today. Mostly because we just spent a whole hour going over it on stream. I'll just have the timestamp to it in the video, or in the stream thingy. As I'm probably not going to cover a separate little video on it. Especially if I spend just as long, it's going to be like an hour-long video. But we'll cover another little mini video, I guess, like after the patch actually hits. Because right now some stuff is still speculation. But after next week's Tuesday, we'll be able to see a few more numbers on things. The final info on what the troops will actually be, stats-wise and everything. Stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to it overall. And honestly, it seems like it's going to be pretty easy to do. If you're already doing like basic PvP right now, and by basic PvP I mean getting your 3 Val Ravens every day, or Val Hawks I mean, getting your 6.5k PvP rating, going like a little bit further every single day just to like do a few extra battles. Like that's pretty much enough to maintain it. You need 16,350 per week. So if you're currently doing 16,350 right now, you're already good. Even if you're doing a bit lower than that, let's say you're only doing like 10,000 right now, you might still be fine, because if you claim all of your, all of those little statues, those statues give you just free VP. I think the smallest one gives you like 750 or 500 or something. The biggest one I think is 1,500. So just a few of those statues will be enough to boost you up to the threshold you need. We don't know the weighting on them yet, but yeah, it probably means you technically only need like 10 to 12,000 a week. Because all the statues that you'll get from your burning marks will boost you up. So it doesn't seem that bad. The only biggest issue I can see with that is if you're someone who doesn't want to touch PvP, you probably should. Because from what I can tell, there is no way to upgrade the Immortal troops without touching PvP. But at bare minimum, you should be doing the 6,500 every week. Even if you ignore every other mechanic that's in PvP, you should bare minimum be doing the 6,500 to get the 100 gold marks there, all the other loot. Plus, even at 6,500, that will still be enough to finish out, like, what, a third of the total? Actually, a little more than a third. You get to, like, tier 40 by the end of the season or so, out of the 90 tiers. Even if you just did bare minimum, like, 6,500 or nothing else. And 6,500 is pretty free. It takes almost no time at all. What's the benefit of getting Val Ravens? You thought they just get a temporary stat boost. There are a few things that Val Ravens do. Or Val Hawks. They give you 2 of those little monolith stones, and you can get 6 of them per day. Well, 3 of them per day for 6 total, because they drop them 2 at a time. With those 6 monolith stones, you can use them in sets of 5s to get a boost. Which will last for 5 hours if you do the whole 5. However, it's not just for the boost. You also get these VP token things, up to 6 of them. And it gives you double VP for 1 fight. I've been hoarding all of these for seasons. So you can save these for seasons, or use them during seasons when seasons start in about a week from now. Basically 2 Mondays from now. And they give you double VP for the battle you do. This does not double them when you're doing a Blood Frenzied. It simply just gives you 100% extra. So let's say you were originally going to get 80, you would then get 160. But if you were originally going to get like a 100 off of a Blood Frenzy, you would actually get a 150. Because it's only giving you an extra 100%. It's not actually doubling whatever it is. But you get 6 of those per 5 that you use. And that's like the main reason why you actually do the Val Hawks. It's not actually for the temporary boost. It's for the 6 VP doubling tokens you get. And I think we have almost 1,000 of them saved for next patch. Which, of course, is what we've been saving them for. Because we've known for a while that this patch is coming. It was just a matter of when on earth it was coming. Because they've been talking about seasons for a while. Technically, they were talking about it as way back as like 2016, 2017. But even in recent times, they've been talking about it since like early this year. That they were going to be adding PvP seasons. So we've just been hoarding all the VP token thingies. But there's going to be a secondary reason of why you're going to want to do them starting next patch. There's one objective that's actually taking monolith battles, like X number of monolith battles, and you actually get burning marks for a number of battles that you do. There's like a bunch of different objectives, like kill things in PvP, win in PvP, do monolith battles in PvP, stuff like that. So monolith battles will actually matter even more. Not just for the free VP, but also you'll be getting free burning marks. And that'll also be a way to earn burning marks without spending any money, if you're someone who's not buying the season pass. As all of those objectives, to my understanding, do not cost any money to partake in. You simply just have to do the objective. I don't think a single one of the objective goals was money locked. And that's probably going to be the main way you actually earn a lot of your burning marks for free players, is by doing every single objective that's on a given PvP season. Because you're going to be getting 66% less loot from the season pass playing 100% free-to-play. But you can make up for it by doing every single PvP objective. We currently don't know how hard it will be to do all 3 tiers of the PvP objectives. There's all of them shown in the video, and he showed tier 1 of 3. I'm pretty sure not going to be that bad. Like, if you're getting 180,000 PvP points during the 11-week period, you're probably going to have most, if not all of them done, naturally. Might have to do a little bit extra, but probably not that much. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, honestly, out of every PvP update, this is the one I'm probably looking forward to the most. Some of them have been kind of sketchy or barely did anything. Or did things that were slightly concerning. But this is the first one where I'm like, yeah, honestly, this seems perfectly fine. Not sure what everyone else's thoughts have been on it so far. I don't know, what do you guys think of the new patch coming up? We've kind of gone over everything we possibly can over at this point. Like, not much information is going to come out between now and the patch. Because they just did the preview video and everything, too. But honestly, I kind of like it. Out of every PvP update they've done so far, it's definitely my favorite one. My next favorite will hopefully be Guild War actually being done right. Though there is a good chance they will butcher whatever the next Guild War mode's going to be that they're replacing Guild War with. Like, that's pretty much the last PvP update they're going to do is Guild War. Like, this one is like pretty much the last major one for now. But Guild War will probably be like the last major one for a while once they get that in next year. Assumably. Unless they're just going to have Guild War not working in the background for forever. I don't know, what do you guys think of the next patch? Or any concerns you may have with it? Because I haven't actually checked the forum to see how much everyone hates it yet. I don't know, should we go check it? We can in 2.5 minutes. How many negative posts are there on every single thing about it? Honestly, I'm kind of optimistic for this one. I actually don't mind it at all. Hello, Ginky! Welcome, welcome. Not sure if I said hello earlier. Another currency? OP unbalanced troops that can only be done via PvP? Boo. Yeah, this patch is pretty anti if you hate PvP. As it is impossible to partake in every new feature coming in this patch unless you do PvP. So if you're someone who absolutely despises PvP, you're missing out on a lot of content now. It's basically forcing you to do PvP if you don't already do it. I already do it, so personally to me, it doesn't actually affect me at all. Basically a daily we're already doing, we basically just get 1 billion more loot for. Yeah, another currency is always of concern. However, this currency was going to be coming regardless. Like, we knew about this currency for a while. That we'd be getting the 3rd PvP currency. So another currency at this point doesn't really faze me that much. Also, it's only 1 new currency this time. It's not like 1.5 billion. Bug preview will be needed. Oh yeah, we'll need to do a bug patch too on Wednesday. We'll need to go over all the new bugs they added. Because honestly, we're probably going to get more new features via bugs on Tuesday than we will actual content. Like, there will be more bugs to mess around with on Tuesday than there will be actual content to do. So we're definitely going to have to go bug hunting for all the things that their non-existent QA team has not seen. Oh, wow. We got a verse 2 in this battle. Too bad it doesn't get doubled by stalling here. We got a verse 2. Very nice. And a double glory gnome, also nice. Can they be used in Explore? Yes. It was confirmed at the start of the video, which is something I already thought it was, but was reconfirmed. Yes, you can use them absolutely anywhere. You can use them in PvP. They're meant to be used in PvP in their corresponding region, but you can use them in your pet rescue. You can use them in your journey event, assuming it's applicable to the current journey. You can use them in pet battles. You can use them wherever. Explore. Anywhere where they can be used within the restriction, they can be. And they also have a bypass where they can always be used in their given region. So their given PvP region, they can be used regardless of restriction. And otherwise, they can be used everywhere else as long as they meet restriction. So, for example, if they're blue, you can use them for, like, you know, a dungeon event or a faction event that has blue, yellow, or something. But yeah, anywhere where they can be used, normally, they can be used. But they also bypass the restriction for their given PvP region. So, for example, the Bay of Stars or whatever it was. Like, that one troop in that one area can always be used, even if the restriction is not related to them. Which does make PvP overall a lot easier under the weird restrictions. Because you will always have access to a good option. Assuming you own all the Immortals. And from what I can tell, it should be pretty easy to get one copy of all the Immortals. And you get most of their benefit by level 7. Which was probably my biggest concern with it. I was thinking like, oh, we're going to need to get these things to like level 20 before they start doing anything. But nope, level 7. Level 7, they are fully traded. You get the weapon and you get the pet. The weapon and pet won't be maxed, and you won't have like a few stats and a few other knickknacks things. But all the important things you have by level 7 out of 30. Which is pretty generous. How much more of a benefit will you get to level 30 that isn't fully known at the moment? Because we don't know how good the weapons are necessarily. Actually, I haven't checked Terran's Word for it. Maybe we do. We don't necessarily know how good the pets are, though maybe Terran's Word says that too. I haven't actually checked. We also don't know what the buff is when they're fully maxed. Like how big of a benefit their traits get. Like if that one guy that stuns and curses a random enemy begins to start cursing and stunning all enemies per extra turn, then that's broken beyond belief. Oh no, we'll have to wait and see. Could you imagine that? That one really broken one that we were talking about earlier. Imagine if when fully traded, he curse stuns the entire enemy team when he's level 30. That would be so hilariously broken. Because he'd be the first true curse stunner. Like, he already is, in the sense of what he does, and there are a few other troops kind of like that. But if his ability was legitimately, when fully maxed, curse stun all enemies, that would be, like, the biggest power creep out of any of them by far. That's one concern with some of the level 30 traits. Is, like, are they going to be that broken? Because that's pretty broken. That's pretty high levels of broken, if that is what it does. It is currently not known if that is what it does. But if it is, that is so strong. Yeah, the upgrade trait at 30 could be bad. For a lot of them, I feel like it will be. But for some of them, it could be broken beyond belief, like that Curse Stunner guy. But a lot of them don't seem like they're going to gain that much of a benefit. Like the one that creates 2 Burning Gems per turn, if when fully maxed, he creates like 3. Or even 4. Because you can only use 1. That's not much of a game changer. But something like the Curse Stunner going from Curse Stunning 1 to Curse Stunning all enemies just instantly made it the most broken thing ever. And a few other ones are also like that. Oh no, we don't really know. Hopefully we'll have more info on that the day of or the few days in. Because that information currently is not known, I don't believe. This has been data mined already somehow. The earliest it could really be data mined properly, I'm pretty sure, is on Tuesday, so... I gotta wait till the day of or day after or so. But after this Palooza, we'll go hand out a code and then we'll run one more, I think. Now, whatever grind we still have to do, we'll do it all tomorrow night. Which means tomorrow night stream will probably go for a while. We'll probably go for about 3 hours tomorrow night. Give or take a little. I want to try ending before midnight, though. Hello, Outlander. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Yeah, somehow this stream, we talked for an hour straight on just the patch. We talked about a 5-minute video for 1 hour. But technically there's a few other tidbits of information, too. That's a lot longer than I thought it would take. It happens, though. But yeah, we've been slacking a bit on this Vault weekend. Gonna be at like 7 Paloozas done by the end of tonight. So we'll need like another 6 tomorrow night. Maybe even another 7 if we get unlucky. Hey, Dragonite Gnome, a little early. I wonder if we're getting a 3rd wave of dragons this year. Could you imagine? If in like 2 months from now we're getting a 3rd wave of dragons. Because that'd be around the September-October patch time. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think they will add a 3rd wave of dragons? So far, since Dragonite has existed, every year they've added another set. The previous set, we got Stellaryx. I feel like if we get another set, they're going to be support troops, though. Like, support dragons. I don't think they're going to be, like, stronger than Stellaryx. There's going to be, like, really good support troops. What's with all the Dragonite Gnomes all of a sudden? I went with, like, none, and now we're getting all of them. Wait, that's not enough damage. That's concerning. Oh, I didn't take the yellow. Luckily, it doesn't use yellow. Oh, if nothing else, that battle took long enough that we get the full value of Dragonite from him. Or the full that we can get. It's based on how much time you're in a battle, but also the level difference between you and the enemy. Which, of course, that difference is a gigantic. However, technically, we get slightly more loot if we wait like a few seconds every battle. But winning quicker outweighs waiting a few seconds. But if it does happen naturally, like a battle like that, it's actually not that big of a detriment, as we do get like an extra Dragonite or 2 from it. Which isn't worth the extra time, but, you know, kind of have to wait with this team. It's the only big issue with double Ironhawk. And kind of the whole reason why they even added Dragonite Gnome. Is as a counter to Ironhawk teams. It's basically their way of nerfing Ironhawk team without nerfing it ever. Which I'm actually really surprised. Ironhawk has never been nerfed directly. The closest it's become to getting nerfed is Dragonite Gnome being added to the game. Which is enough to resist its 25 damage in all situations. But beyond that, it has never directly been nerfed. Only just that one indirect nerf. The other big nerf that will happen to it eventually at some point, though, is eventually you will not be able to use triple Ironhawk in any kingdom. There are 3 places I believe you can still use it at. It is Center Mirage, Wild Plains, and Droxzoom. All 3 of those locations you can still kill consistently with 20 damage as long as you don't have it 10% or 20% stat on a given week. However, those kingdoms will eventually have troops tanky enough that they will survive 20 damage. Which means that will be an end of an era for the triple Ironhawk team. As there will no longer be any location you can run triple Ironhawk after that. But we still got a little ways to go before that happens. But we will eventually reach a point where there will be no kingdom you can get away with triple Ironhawk. Unless a new kingdom comes out where you will be able to. But for now, it is still viable. But honestly, the double Ironhawk team is not that much slower. You just have to click 2 buttons to auto-win instead of 1. Oh, so hello, Mr. Z! Hello, Yonko! Welcome, welcome. Oh, so hello, Dragorf. I didn't already say hi earlier. Welcome, welcome. We would really love some awesome generators from the next wave. Yeah, honestly, we really need some dragons that are more supportive. Like, the most viable support dragon I can think of in the entire game right now is like Divinia, or Sensia for 50% mana start while having an ability that does nothing. Like, beyond those two and like some of the Empower ones, there's almost nothing dragon-wise that is like any good support-wise. They're almost all different variants of like AoE damage. And any of them that aren't gem dragons or celestial dragons are basically obsolete right now due to the power creep of those dragons. Which basically invalidates like 80% of dragons in the game. Except for niche restrictions where you would use them. But in general team building, like 80% of dragons are useless because of those two categories. Gem and celestial. But one thing that wouldn't be useless if they added a wave of support dragons. As long as their support and mana accumulation ability is like not horrible, they would all be viable situationally. Could even be the mean mana accumulator in some kingdoms. Will the support dragon wear a jacket that lets you take it into stores? Yes, an emotional support dragon. That'd be really funny. What is the best device to play Gems of War on? I would say either PC mobile. They're the only two that are cross-platform. So playing on one is basically playing on either. But yeah, if I was to start a brand new account, I would definitely say PC mobile. Unless you really prefer a certain platform, PC mobile is the best way to go. As it's the only version that's cross-platform with each other. So you can play on either device and still keep your same progress. Because every other version of Gems of War is its own entity. Like the Xbox version is separate, the Switch version is separate and slightly out of date. The PlayStation version is separate. Only PC mobile is cross-platform. So either one of those two is what you ideally should play on. Well, you can play on whatever you prefer, but that is, I would say, like the main version of the game. If you were to start like a fresh account. Yeah, PC also has really good load times. The phone does too if you have a pretty high-end phone. Or even average-end phone. Though I have a pretty high-end computer relative to a pretty average-end phone, so my computer does load faster than my phone does. And I feel like in most cases that would be the case for most people as well. Your PC probably would load a bit quicker. You definitely need emotional support playing this game? Oh gosh. It's not that bad. Though, honestly, since pandemic, they have been going in like a weird direction with some things. But honestly, this next patch I'm actually looking pretty forward to. Which might be a somewhat controversial take on it. Out of any patch they've done, out of all the PvP patches, I'm definitely looking forward to this one the most. Seems like a lot of stuff we'll be able to play around with as well. And none of it is as broken as I thought it would be. Well, a couple of them are going to be really meta. A lot of them are pretty average. Like, some of them are going to be weaker than Legends. Some of the Immortal troops, but not used in their given category and just used in like a normal place. Like, some of them are legitimately worse than some Legends in the game. Like, the Fairy Fire Immortal is going to be worse than Queen Titania. The OG Fairy Fire troop. Which is still kind of insane that she's still the best overall Fairy Fire troop in the game. If you put into consideration both ability and traits, she's the strongest Fairy Fire. There are traits that do more than her Fairy Fire ability. But she, as far as a full package, is still the most viable troop. Which is kind of sad, because she was like the OG option for it, and is still not outmatched after like 8 years. Or 7 years, however long it's been. They've had a good 7+ years to add a better Fire option, and they still haven't. Nor will the Immortal Fairy Fire Troop be any better than her. It has the benefit of being true damage, but Queen Titania has extra turn potential. She also applies Fairy Fire in a better way. After this Palooza, we'll go hand out a code, the final code for the stream, and then we'll go run one last Palooza. Which should bring us up to 7 total. And then tomorrow we'll probably run another 7. Or however long it takes to reach 300. That's probably the final one we can get this set. Might as well start getting the redeem code ready right now. We didn't get anything too good on our final set. Well, we'll go run one more Palooza. There you guys go. Here is the final redeem code for now. Enjoy. We'll have another 2 tomorrow night. It is maybe even 3 if we go long enough tomorrow night, because we're probably going to be going for almost 3 hours tomorrow night. So we'll do almost like 1 an hour. Alright, next. Hey, Merchant. Anything good? Alright, nothing. Alright, next. Tribute, are you ready? No. Alright, let's go run one more. Let me get into it because we have an XP booster that's currently burning. This will be the last one we run for now. Also, I'm a little behind the curve. I'm trying to get 20 plus by the end this weekend. Which means I need to get about 8 Paloozas tomorrow. Like 7 to 8 Paloozas we gotta find during the duration of tomorrow. So I gotta really get on the grind tomorrow. Honestly, I kinda slacked a bit today. But tomorrow, we gotta do, like, non-stop throughout the day, Gems of War. Probably not gonna stream it, but, yeah, during the day, I'm probably gonna grind it for at least, like, 6 hours, if not 8. Throughout the day. We slacked on it a bit today. I just got cut up a bit. Oh, so I am still sunburned, by the way, from when I was in New Jersey the other week. I was, like, taking a shower earlier, and I noticed, like, my skin was peeling there, and I was like, wait, why am I peeling? And it's like, oh, the sunburn's still healing. If anyone says any other questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. After this Palooza, we will call it for tonight. And then tomorrow night, we'll probably go for at least 3 hours or so. We'll start by going over all the weekly stuff. Oh, we're not going to go over everything 8.0 related again. I think we did like 3 times this week already. So I won't mention anything 8.0 related again until like Tuesday night. I'll probably mention some on the Monday video, some things. And obviously we'll have a video probably on Wednesday just kind of summarizing some stuff. Oh, so this is the second stream in a row where I didn't update them one by one. So tomorrow we probably will go back to doing that. Like, so far this entire weekend we've been updating it once per stream. But going into tomorrow we will update it as we go. Lose at a time. I just whacked my mic all the way down. Can you still hear me down there? I need to go readjust this mic. I feel like every few weeks the screws on it get like a little bit looser and looser to the point where you like touch it and it does that. Honestly, this position almost works better. Can you still hear me? You should still be able to hear me. Hello! 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 I know you guys can hear me. It just feels weird having the mic down there. Yeah, this mic's been through a lot. We've had this mic for 8 years now? Yeah, it's been 8 years. A little over 8 years now. I've been saying I've been wanting to upgrade it, but honestly, it's been doing fine. Though if I was to ever upgrade it, I would like really, really upgrade it. Like probably go for one that's almost several hundred or something. Like really splurge on a nice one. That would probably never need to replace ever. Like I'm not going to do a small upgrade. We're going to go like almost all the way if we ever upgrade this thing. Yeah, it's been doing us good. Now, main priority upgrade-wise is I need to get a chair replacement because this one's starting to break down a lot. I haven't found one yet, but still need to go get one at some point. That, and I think I'm finally going to get a PC build. I haven't owned a PC since like 2004. I've basically been using laptops for a little over a decade now. Because the one I got from 2004 lasted till about 2013. Which means I haven't used a standard like tower computer. Like, you know, like a standard actual computer tower thing. Since, well, we keep getting first twos here. Well, that just completely 180'd. We 180'd earlier, now we 180'd back. But yeah, I haven't had a proper tower computer since a 2004 version. Which means, that was last in 2013, so it's been at least 11 years. And even then, it was one from, like, the early 2000s. So I haven't had a modern PC build in, ever. So I'm finally getting one probably the next month or 2 or 3. Not really in a rush to get it. Still trying to find the right one. Likely buying it locally. I was going to get it, like, online, like a pre-built one. I'm probably just going to get a local one pre-built. Because I'm just slightly concerned with shipping and everything. Like if they ship it to the wrong location, or if something's damaged, I have to go through support and everything for that. It just seems like a whole headache. Even at like a 20 or 30% markup, I don't mind it out of convenience. Plus you don't have to pay shipping fees or anything. Hey, you think my mic is perfect? Only singers would need better? I don't know, I still feel like it cuts out my audio a lot and a few other things that are kind of weird. Which could be my mic settings overall, more so than the mic itself. I'm not too familiar with audio stuff. I also don't have it being processed or anything. It's literally just a USB mic plugged into my laptop. It's not like it's going through like a mixer or something similar. Actually, what's kind of funny is it's not even plugged into my laptop. It's actually plugged into a splitter that's plugged into my laptop. Because I have so many USB devices plugged to this one computer, I think I have like 7 of them. Almost all of them are in a multi-way USB 3 splitter. I technically only have 2 things plugged directly into my laptop. One is the USB splitter, and the other one is whatever the other one leads to. I have no clue, actually. Actually, I'm not sure what the other one is used for. Yeah, I only have 2 USB devices in my thing. And one just a massive splitter for all the USB devices. I'm actually curious now. What is the other one going to? I can't even tell. I just have one stray USB device that is directed directly in it. Maybe it is the mic. Because I feel like out of any of them, I would have made it the mic. Because that's the most important one to have higher quality on. Compared to like mouse or keyboard or anything else. I could unplug it and find out. Should we unplug it? Should we play device roulette and see which device turns off if I unplug it? The only problem with that is it would probably break it for the rest of the stream. Whatever device it is. It'd be funny if it was my mouse because I wouldn't be able to move. I could always use the D-pad on the laptop. Can never go along with a Hale PR 440. Yeah, I would need to definitely browse if I'm going to do one. It's not like super high priority, but definitely something I want to do eventually. I feel like getting a better webcam at some point too. We do so little with webcam. But it is something I have been eventually wanting to do. Because the best that one could do is 1080-30. Which, pretty sure there's pretty cheap webcams that could do like 4K 60 these days. By cheap, I mean probably around 100-ish. Because the webcam I have right now is like 30 bucks or something. And it doesn't go higher than 30 frames. Yeah, we do need a better chroma key. That is, there's 2 issues with my current lighting system. Well, one is my lighting system. I need to get a better lighting system for this room. I get an electrician here to replace out the whatever wiring is wrong with my light up there. While also just replacing the light. I already actually have the light for replacing it. I just need to get it up there. I then need to get a professional studio light for that corner over there. Or maybe even for something that can go right over there behind the webcam. And that will fix my lighting onto my green screen. And then from there, a slightly better webcam would make it capture better too. Because I'm using a pretty cheap webcam right now. It's actually the cheapest device I think I'm using. Literally the light right over there is more expensive than the webcam. And it's literally just like a small little light. Like complexity-wise, it is so much less than that webcam. It is somehow more expensive than it. But yeah, that's more so a lighting issue than anything. And slightly a webcam issue. Also an issue of me not rescaling it. Because one issue is the windows in my room change the lighting that I need, and I don't bother changing it every single time before stream. Which is another factor with it too. Because a certain time of days, because of how the lighting is in my room, I would need certain chroma key changes to it. As the amount of light on the screen is variable. Because normally when you do that, you want to be in a relatively dark room, so it doesn't have that variableness. But I have 2 windows in my room. Which make that kind of hard to do. And the biggest issue is one of the windows is like right on top of it as well. It's like right there. It's almost exactly where my webcam is. Which messes with it even more. It also doesn't help that I don't have a proper green screen. Which I might get at some point. I need one of those floor ones that go up though. I think they cost like about 100 to 200. Like those floor green screens where you like click a button and it comes up from the floor. Because I have no way to apply them to my ceiling with the kind of ceilings I have, because I have those popcorn ceiling things. So I'd have to have a floor one that comes up. Rather than a ceiling one that comes down. Because what I'm currently using is a bed sheet. Which is technically not a ceiling one. I have it pinned into the beams. Oh wait, I killed that too quick. Oh no, did we get full loot? No, I killed it too quick. Oh, we didn't get full loot there. I wasn't paying attention. But that's a pretty good tribute, 34. Oh well, not too big a deal. Apparently we have a skull objective real quick. What's the easiest way to go get skulls other than the new really broken Immortal trip that's coming out? I don't know. How do I want skulls? Do we just spam something? I don't know. This is Zolgoth team real quick. Let's run some Explore 12. Remember that thing that exists that we should probably be doing more of? Let's go do some of it. Let me go Explore 12 with the Zolgoth team. I need some skulls. I guess we'll run this and then we'll go check our number. It's just this team, even though it's been meta or became super meta like a few years ago. Well, Zolgoth has been for a little while, but you know, specifically with Catherics and everything. This team feels like ancient history at this point. This is only like 2 years ago team. Yeah, we like barely touch it these days because there's so few situations where you would need it, other than very high level faction and Explore 12. But even for Explore 12, there's other alternatives now. PvP's better than Explore 12, true. But we're going to have to do a lot of PvP soon, so I'll do some Explore 12 for now. Because we're going to have to do so much PvP coming up soon. Because I'm not going to try to get it across the entire season. I'm going to actually front load a lot of the PvP next season. Like the 180,000 that we have to get it across 11 weeks, I'm probably going to try to fit into 3 weeks. Like we're definitely going to power rush the PvP season. Not every single time, but at least for the very first one I want to. Oh, yeah, we got it in one battle. Alright, that was way less battles than I thought it would be. Or maybe those 2. Alright, we'll go take out this one then. Can't it be done with software? It might be able to. There is software that can probably do that these days. Like auto green screen for you. I'm not sure of any software specifically that does by name. But that definitely sounds like something that exists these days. Something that can auto green screen you without a green screen behind you. That has like self-awareness of where the human is. Yeah, PvP doesn't give you medals like these. 2 Orpheuses. Anyways, guys, let's go get our final tally and then we'll probably call it there. Let's see, what's our tally at? How bad are we doing this Vault weekend? Well, we're about halfway there, which makes sense because I said we would do the other half tomorrow, so that actually works out. So, yep, sounds like a game plan. We do the other half tomorrow then. How much pity key are we up to? We are at 27, I believe, because one of those is EXP booster. So yeah, we're slightly more than halfway there. So we'll finish the other half tomorrow. Perfect. Perfect. Which means I need to get about 8 verse 3s tomorrow. Also, how did these reverse already? I was just talking about in the title and everything that, hey, our verse 2s are now lower than our verse 3. And by the end of the stream, we now have more verse 2s than verse 3. This was like the other way around at the beginning of the stream. And because we found like 3 verse 2s in our Paloozas today, and just in our battles, but no verse 3s, it just completely 180'd again. Go figure. But anyways, let me go get the final tally here. So it's a 134, 5, and 7. 134, 5, 7, 134, 5, 7. Let's see. 134, 5, 7. All right, there we go. Wow, we are doing abysmal on Epic Volkeys. What on earth is that? 5? 5? This might be one of our worst weeks yet for Epic Volkeys. And we're down on Volkeys too. Not only are we down on normal Volkeys, but we should have at least like 14, 15 epics by now. We have 5. This is a horrible Vault event weekend. Like, we've been doing so many average and above average Vault event weekends that it's actually insane how bad this one is. Not necessarily for finding verses. That's been pretty decent actually. But our actual Paloozas themselves, this has probably been our worst weekend since like all the Palooza buffs we've ever had on Paloozas. Like relative to how many opened, relative to what we've gotten. That is so bad. To only be at 134.5 after 7 is so absurdly low. But hopefully our luck will turn around tomorrow. But anyways, guys, I will catch you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Still plenty of time to do the Vault grind. Still have a whole other extra day. I'll be doing most of our grind tomorrow, so you can too. So, yeah, still plenty of time. Still a little over 24 hours. Actually, we can see it right over here. I think it's like 30-ish hours, however long. By this point, we can see it right here. We have another 1 day and 4 hours. So yeah, 28 hours left, so plenty of time if you still want to go get on the grind. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow, we will finally not be talking about 8.0, though I'll probably still find a way to talk about 8.0. Any of you that still want to watch it or want to watch it after the fact, I will have the, in the next like 5-10 minutes, in the description of this stream, will be all the timestamps to all of the 8.0 stuff that we went over. We went over the entire video and all the information we have on Terran's World. I guess I didn't check the weapons and the pet, but all the troops, which is the most vital thing from it, I did go over. So I'll have the timestamps to those 2 things when we went over the entire video and when we went over all the troops, which took us like an hour to stream to go do. But that'll be in the description or in the pinned comment if you want to go click on them after the fact. And I'll catch you guys later. And we'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 2 hours prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys then. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.